Hi everybody, and welcome back to Wednesday's Slow Flow Midweek Reset with me, Anna, guiding you in a slow flow practice or just a slow restorative kind of practice to reset your week, to help you feel better, to reduce pain and stress, emotional relief, physical release, and glad to be back. So before we get into it, announcements. We have tonight at 6:30 is the midweek vibe check with Matt, and and Saturday we have DJ Steve Miller coming. So from 12 to 3 on Saturday, we have Soul Saturday with DJ Steve Miller, and we're looking forward to that. But come in to community. And come listen to music, come see people you haven't seen in a while, come vibe the music, raise your vibration, which is what our goal here is, to raise the community's vibration in love and with the love of music, to take a deep breath of relief. So usually Fridays we have our integrated recovery services group, so keep an eye out for that. And we're not having one this Friday, but just in the future, keep an eye out for that. We also have the Yamas and Niyamas book circle coming up in October and November. So lots of stuff going on at different times, and keep up with the events page on pcsam.org so that you can keep up. If you're not a member yet, become a member. Come in, take a tour, but make sure that you book that tour online so that someone is here and available to take you into this wonderful sacred space that we've created as a community. So Sandy would be here, but she's feeling under the weather, and I'm sending you lots of love, Sandy. And when you feel better, hopefully this practice will help you recover and get back to you feeling like yourself again. So bringing in this practice, I am coming back after being on a week and just tending to some family stuff, and I'm so glad to be back. I'm so glad to be back because it's these practices, yoga, that has really kept me grounded. And of course, what I wanted to really point out is that when things are roller coastery, like there's always stuff going on. Sometimes it feels like it's one bomb after the other, and you can't seem to catch a break, right? If it wasn't for taking the time to sit down for a moment, maybe move the body or connect to your breath, I think that the sanity or the chaos just intensifies when there's no way for your body to release. So this is a very supportive practice that you can bring into your lifestyle to support anything that's going on with your life, really. When it comes to tapping into your breath, when it comes to calming the nervous system and empowering yourself to not be overtaken by the things that are happening around you, because you're the one that controls your own behavior, right? Your own stuff. And you have a choice to move your body, take some breaths so that you can fill your cup, so that you can fill others. And sometimes we just need to fill our cup to fill our cup, because we need to fill our cup and calm our minds and de-stress. Remember, consistency is key. So let's move our bodies and begin to breathe. So come into a comfortable seat, or if you're lying down, you can lie down. We'll get there at some point, maybe at the beginning. So for me, all of this has really become an intuitive practice. How did that happen? That happened through really grounding with myself and learning how to use my breath to calm my nervous system and connect to a higher me. And this is what a consistent practice like this brings in, is it begins to bring in your body's wisdom. It begins to cultivate your intuition. And it begins moments of you being able to connect to your higher self or your bliss body. So let's begin to settle into our breath if you haven't settled already, and just noticing coming into our breath awareness. Just by noticing how you're breathing, not changing anything, softening your gaze or closing your eyes. And what we're creating here and every Wednesday is the calm within the chaos. When things begin to build up, know that you are empowered to use the tools we learn here to calm the nervous system and be the calm within the chaos. And let's bring our hands to the heart center as we greet each other here, and gently bowing our heads and setting our intentions. Sending love to whomever needs love in your life, anybody you've encountered, and then, of course, sending that love to yourself. Releasing the hands when you're ready. Lengthening the spine. Taking the crown towards the sky. Rolling the shoulders back. And feeling nice and upright in your body. Let's begin to roll the shoulders. Forward and back. And then extend the fingertips towards the mat or the floor, or whatever you're touching. Just extending and grounding in. So extending those hands to the earth, feeling the support of the earth beneath us. If you're lying down, you can extend your arms or take a full body stretch. We're lengthening through the crown here and extending the fingertips, reaching, so there's opposite directions happening. You're feeling the stretch through the fingertips, through the forearms, all the way up to the shoulders as you lengthen. Arms come up. Take a nice deep breath in, palms touch, and then flip the palms, float the arms down. Roll the shoulders back. Ground that left palm, inhale, right arm over. And then switch sides. Ground that right palm in, left arm up and over. And if at any point you feel like moving your legs, float that arm down, then roll the shoulders forward. Move your legs, adjust, do what makes you feel comfortable and what's comfortable for your body. All right, so let's take our bodies into a circle, beginning to move the energy. And just releasing what has brought us up to this point, letting go. You can take a circle, or you can take the shoulders in, one at a time. Combine the movement if you like. And then from here, come back to center, both knees come up, and gently extending the legs and just letting them go. All right, let's bring the soles of the feet together. You can walk your buttocks up to your heels and allow the hips to gently open with gravity by letting the legs fall open, lengthen through the crown. A little flutter. And then let's interlace the fingers around our feet, lengthen through the crown, take a gentle hinge forward, not too far, keeping a little length in the spine. Gently coming back, and let's come on to tabletop position. Let's warm up our spine. So you didn't miss anything. Similar warm up, just in tabletop. Shoulders stack over the wrists, fingers are nice and wide. Point that index finger forward towards the top of the mat. Stack the hips over the knees. And feet can be flat or curled in. If you want to give the feet a little stretch, you can curl the toes in, and then whenever you decide to uncurl them, that's up to you. So do what's comfortable for you. We're going to warm up the spine on the inhale. Abdomen's going to drop towards the earth, tail's going to tilt. You're going to take the gaze up to the sky. On the exhale, chin's going to move towards the chest. You're going to come into either neutral spine or round in, tucking the tail. Inhale. Gently take that abdomen down, tilt the tail, take the gaze up. Exhale. Take the chin to chest, pressing the mat away, tucking the tail, rounding in. So find your flow here with your breath, inhaling and exhaling with your extension and rounding in. Extension and flexion. And as you round in, if you are really rounding in, pull that navel in towards the back of the spine as you take the chin to chest. Slow down your movement if you notice that you're going too fast, or if you just notice that you want to calm down a little bit more, slow down your breaths. And when you're ready, meet me in table back to center and begin to shift the hips left and right and begin to circle the hips. In one direction and then the other. And then without moving the knees, we're just gonna scoot the hands forward, walk them forward, and take a puppy pose. So we're gonna take the hips back, extend the arms, and gently take our head down. And reach those hips back. If it feels good to tent the fingers, you can tent the fingers, and then as you tent the fingers, let the heart reach towards the earth. So you're having a little sink of the shoulder blades are coming in, and then you're lengthening. So lots of different things going on here. Nice deep breath. And then gently coming back to tabletop. Let's extend that right leg, point the toes down and ground the toes. So option here, let's go forward a little. To keep those toes grounded, pressing through the heel. Or you can lift the leg and lengthen through the heel. Or you can ground the toes. And actually, let's do that. Let's ground the toes and press through the heel. And then lift the leg and flex the foot, press through the heel. Ground the toes. Lean back and press. Toes come to the mat. And then lift the leg. From here, bend the knee, open up to the right side, and you can take the gaze to the right side. And then come back to center, and you're going to circle the hip. Take it in opposite direction when you're ready. And then bring that knee back, find your tabletop, shift side side. So resetting the hips, you can circle the hips, little circles, big circles, whatever you feel like moving. On the next breath, we're going to extend that left leg, ground the toes. Lift the leg, point the toes down, and then ground the toes, lean back. You want to, grounding the toes just means putting the toes down. Yeah. And then just pressing in, and then gently lift the leg, pointing the toes down. Bring them back down. Lean back. And then come back, lift the leg, bend the knee, open up to the left side. And you can take the gaze with it if that feels better. And then bring the gaze back to center and circle the hip. Both directions. And then bring that knee back, come back to your tabletop, and cat-cow again. So let's extend and round in. Okay, let's take a wide-legged child's pose. So we're going to take the knees to the width of the mat, let those toes touch, shift the hips back, and extend the arms forward. Lower the head, ground your third eye on a block or the mat, and take a few nice deep breaths here. Feel the rib cage expand, the backside rib cage, back rib cage, sides. And then if you'd like, you can bring the hands into prayer position. And then bend the elbows and bring those prayer hands to the mid-shoulders or back of the neck. You can walk the elbows forward to feel that tricep stretch, and you could shift the hips back here as well. So do what feels good for you in the exploration of the stretch. Releasing my prayer hands back to the mat. And then I'm going to walk my hands over to the right side. And maybe layering that left palm over the right. Lengthen that left hip towards the left heel. And walk back to center. Walk it all the way to the left side. Maybe that right hand layers on top of the left. Take that bow, reach that right hip towards the right heel. So you're feeling that stretch on the right side body, lengthening as you reach the hip back. And then let's walk back to center. Little bow here, and then walk the hands back towards the knees. Knees come back to center. All right, let's find our tabletop again. Let's curl our toes under and take a nice stretch by lifting, coming into our down dog, lifting the hips up, shifting the hips back, Taking the arms parallel to the ears and begin to walk your dog. So you can lift one heel after the other. Heels don't have to touch the mat. Press the heart towards the thighs. Bend one knee after the other. Nice full breaths. And then lift both heels high, bend the knees, switch the gaze between the hands, and walk the feet to meet the hands at the top of the mat. Take that forward fold. Ragdoll here. Let the upper body feel loose and heavy. Release the neck and shoulders. Let the arms dangle, or you can take an elbow to elbow bind. You can also sway the body if that feels good. You can take a nod or a shake of the head. Just loosening up the upper body and using gravity to lengthen the spine. Release if you've taken the bind and gently roll up vertebra by vertebra, slowly, slowly. Coming all the way back up to standing. Extend the arms and bring the arms up. Continue to breathe in and take a swan dive down on the exhale. Forward fold. Hands on the shins for your half lift. And then exhale, plant the palms, step both feet back, come back to tabletop. Circles with the hips. And curl the toes under, come back to your down dog. Press the heart towards the thighs. Lift the heels, switch the gaze, walk again to meet your hands. Forward fold. Gentle roll all the way up, inhale. All the way to the top as the arms reach up. Tap the fingers, exhale, forward fold, all the way down. Inhale, hands on the shins for that half lift. And then plant the palms on the mat, step it back. Take a modified plank or a full plank, up to you. So with the knees down, shift the hips back, take a little mini child's pose, and then shift forward to your modified plank. Point the index fingers forward, take a half push-up, even if you're in full plank, tucking the elbows, and then press back. Inhale, shift forward, and come all the way down to your front body, belly on the mat. And let's take the hands and layer them on top of one another in front of us and rest our forehead on our hands. Bend the knees and windshield wiper. Circles if you'd like, or just windshield wiper side to side. And then relax the legs back on the mat, hands underneath the shoulders. And then we're going to take a little baby cobra. So you can take your legs wide if you'd like, and then, or together, press all 10 toes in, no matter where your legs are, lift the heart up, slide the heart forward, shoulders back. Nice deep breath in and lift, and exhale gently, come all the way back down. Take your arms by your side and take the left cheek to the mat. Let the shoulders relax and drape. Notice your breath. Hands Hands come back underneath the shoulders, chin comes back to center, tuck the elbows close to the body. So notice as you bring the elbows close to the body, that's opening up the chest and drawing those shoulders back. Press all 10 toes in and tone the legs. Inhale, lift the heart. Slide the heart forward. Gaze forward. Chin parallel to the floor, and then lower down. Arms by your side. Take the right cheek to mat. On the next breath, just bring your chin back to center. And what we're going to do here is we're going to take a locust pose, but we're just going to lift the top part of the body and reach back. You're welcome to lift the legs up if you'd like, and then lower everything down. All right, next breath, inhale, lift the heart. Reach back with those arms. You can, again, lift the legs if you want or keep them grounded, and come back down. Hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes under, gently pressing back up. Curl the toes under and press into your down dog. Take one more breath here. And then walk your feet to meet the hands at the top of the mat and forward fold. Again, feeling loose in the upper body, letting the head feel heavy. Gentle roll all the way up on the next breath. Keep breathing in, arms come up. Exhale, float the arms down by your side. Mountain pose, tone the legs. Lengthen through the crown, navel pulls in. Inhale, arms reach up. Press the palms together gently, reach back. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive down. Inhale, hands on the shins to lengthen. And then root to rise, come all the way up again. This time, keep the arms parallel to the ears or bring them in front of you, palms down, and sit in your chair. Shift the weight to the heels. So you could do this with palms up, and actually let's do that. Let's bring the palms up for an external rotation of the shoulders as we're sitting, and then rotate the palms back down, rotate them up. It's also taking your attention away from your thighs. Roll them back down, roll them back up, roll them back down, shift the weight to the heels, gaze forward. And if you want, you can lift the arms up here, and then let's swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. We'll do a little chaturanga here. Plant the palms, step it back. Find your plank or modified plank. Come all the way down. Take a sweep up for your up dog. And then come back to your down dog. Walk the feet to meet the hands. Come to your forward fold at the top of the mat. Hands on the shins for your half lift. Draw those shoulders back, pull the navel in, and root to rise, come all the way up. Hands can stay here, sit in your chair, or you can reach them forward. So I'm going to reach mine forward, palms up so that I can externally rotate my shoulders, shift the weight to the heels. Then we're going to rotate down, palms down, rotate back up. You're still using your breath here. Rotate down, rotate back up. And if you like, you can take those arms back, parallel to the ears. And then from here, gently extending, take that right hand to the left wrist, lengthen on the inhale and arch over to your right side. Come back to center, switch sides, inhale, lengthen right side, arch over left side. Strength through those legs, like pressing into the feet. Right hips press away and come back to center. Swan dive down for your forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins for your half lift. And exhale, plant the palms, step it back, drop the knees, and find your tabletop. So circles with the knee and with the hips. Not quite at the knees yet. Circles with the hips. And then from here, let's extend that left leg out, parallel the foot to the mat. We're going to step that left foot out. We're going to extend that leg. Foot is parallel to the mat. Walk the hands towards your knee and lift the body up. Hands on the hips. So from here, I'm going to have you take a nice deep breath in and extend the arms up. Exhale, lower. And then that right arm is going to reach over the right ear. And then we're going to make a beautiful angle with the opposite side, left arm over the left ear. Hi, Jay. And then float it back down. Hands come back in front of you. And keep your leg there because we're going to come into an abductor stretch. So we're going to shift the hips back. And that's where you're going to feel that stretch right in here. So go as far back as you're comfortable. You could even come onto your forearms and shift back. Take 2 breaths here. And on the 3rd breath, hands come back underneath the shoulders. Bring that leg back, opposite side. Walk the hands towards your knee, lift the body up, and just feel that stretch here. We're going to inhale that left arm up and over. If you want to slide that right arm down the leg, you can. And then we're going to make that side angle. Right arm comes up and over, reaching through that right foot, and then float that arm down. All right, so we're going to bring the hands back down underneath the shoulders, and then you're going to shift the hips back. Again, you can come to the forearms or support yourself with blocks. If it feels good to just gently shift back down before you come up, you can do that. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, and then that leg is going to come back and come back for your hip circles. Find your down dog, curl the toes under, lift the hips up. Press the heart towards the thighs. If it feels good to walk your dog. And then lift the heels high, bend the knees, switch the gaze between the hands, take a hover here. 2 breaths. On the 3rd breath, drop the knees, walk the hands towards the knees, and we're on our knees. All right, so I'm going to scoot up so you can see me. So in this position, we're going to bring that right leg up and bring it to a side angle. Okay, so we have a nice 90-degree angle. We're going to extend our arms out and then bring the hands to the back of the head. Take a nice deep breath in and gently arch over towards that right knee and come back. Nice deep breath in, arch over, and come back. So up to you, you can definitely extend the leg if that feels good, or take a supported stance with the knee bent and release. Release the arms, bring that leg back, and switch sides. So that left leg is now out, arms are going to extend, hands, palms behind the head, cradle the head. Nice deep breath in and arch over to the left side. Exhale, come back up. Inhale and arch over left side. Exhale, come back up. And then last one. And come back up. All right. Releasing here. Bring the hands back down. Find your tabletop. And if it feels good to cat-cow here, to extend and round in, you can do that. And then we're going to do a different kind of hip rotation with the leg extended. So we're going to take that right leg and extend it out, toes point down. And what we're going to do here is turn the toes out and then turn the toes in. Turn the toes out and turn the toes in. We're going to do one more. And bring it back in and bring that leg back. Find your tabletop. A little shifting or a spine movement if you'd like. And come back to your neutral table. Extending left side, toes point down. Inhale and point the toes out. And then bring the toes back to point to the mat. Inhale, tilt out. Bring it back in. One more. Tilt out and toes point back in, back down, and bring that leg back. Circles again. All right. Curl the toes under. Find your down dog. And walk your hands this time to meet your feet. The back of your mat, forward fold. Gentle roll all the way up. Keep breathing in, arms come up, and palms come to heart. Take a moment here. So we're taking a moment here to settle our breath. Notice how our body feels. How does your heart feel? Okay, so we're going to do our little balance walk and come into Warrior 3. So what that's going to look like is we're going to take a step forward and then another step forward, and then we're going to lean forward, switch, and lift that opposite leg and come into a balancing pose and reaching. Okay, so let's set up. Come to the back of your mat. Find your mountain pose and steady the shoulders over the hips. Hands come to the heart center. Feel nice and long through the spine. Shift the weight over to the left side, and we're going to slow down the walk here. Lift up that right leg, flex the foot, and step it forward. Shift the weight to that right foot. Lift that left, flex the foot, and step it forward. And now we're going to lean forward, shift the weight to that left leg. Right leg's going to lift, and you're going to begin to hinge forward. Strengthen that standing leg. So option to leave the hands here at the heart or extend. And then hands come back to center and step it forward. Mountain pose. Inhale, arms come up. Reach back. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. Lengthen for your half lift, and then exhale, plant the palms, step it back. Drop the knees down. If you want a supported plank, and press into down dog. Walk the hands when you're ready to meet the feet. Forward fold at the back of the mat. Inhale, hands on the shins for your half lift, and root to rise. Come all the way up. Let your palms touch and palms come to heart. So this time we're going to shift the weight to the right side. So here we go. So settle your breath if you need to by taking a few deep breaths. Gazing straight ahead, you're going to shift the weight to that right side and lift that left leg, flex the foot, and step it forward. Shift the weight to that left leg, and right leg comes up, flex the foot, step it forward. Here comes Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3, and you're going to shift the weight to that right leg. Left leg's going to lift, and you're going to hinge. And when you're ready, you're lengthening in opposite directions to keep that steady balance. Hands come back to the heart, step it forward. All right, inhale, arms come up, reach back, and forward fold. Hands on the shins, half lift, and then plant the palms, step it back, drop the knees, come all the way down. Inhale, press all 10 toes in, tuck the elbows coming into cobra. And then bring it back down. Curl the toes under. Press yourself to tabletop and shift the hips back. Inhale, shift forward, come all the way back down. Second set cobra. Inhale, press all 10 toes in, lift the heart, tuck the elbows, and lower. Bring the hands again to layer in front of you so you can rest your head. And then bend the knees and windshield wiper your legs side to side. You can even take your head to one side if you'd like, if that feels better. All right, so from here, you can keep your forehead on your hands, lower the legs, and you're gonna bring, or if it helps to bring the hands underneath the shoulders or however you wanna support your upper body, you're gonna bring that right leg up, knee bent, and just rest there, flex the foot. So you can stay right here. You can also reach back if you would like with that right arm and give yourself a quad stretch, right hand to left foot. So lots to think about, a flexion in that right foot and just gently giving yourself a quad stretch and release. Bring that leg back and switch sides. So left leg's gonna come parallel to the mat. You're gonna flex that foot. So you're kind of in a half frog. You're still facing, so you're giving that stretch and you're getting that stretch in the hip. Take a few breaths here. Flex that left foot. And then if you want to give yourself that quad stretch, you can bend that right knee and reach back with that left hand and give yourself that quad stretch. And release. Lower that right leg. Bring that left leg back. And then bring the hands underneath the shoulders, gently lifting yourself back up. Bring the knees forward so that you can sit on your heels. And then you're gonna shift your hips to one side, swing the legs around, and find the center of the mat. All right, so let's come back to our butterfly. Interlace the fingers around the feet. Walk the buttocks towards the heels. Take a nice deep breath in and lengthen through the crown. Pull the navel in and begin to hinge forward. Gently, maybe using those elbows to press the legs away, keeping that length through the spine. So it's not about going all the way forward, it's about stretching, lengthening the spine, and that hinge is just coming from the hips. If you want to hinge all the way and round the spine, you can when you're ready. Gentle release, and release the hands. Knees come back up, and we're gonna bring our knees to chest. So hands in front of the knees, drop down to your mat, bring your knees to chest and squeeze in like a tight little ball. Tuck the chin. Nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, extend. Take a nice deep breath, full body stretch. Stretch in opposite directions and bring the right knee to chest. Flex both feet, lengthen through that left leg. Take that knee towards the right shoulder. If you want to take the leg all the way out to the right side body, you can as well. And then we're going to take the twist, so we're going to bring that right knee across the body with the help of the left hand. And then we're going to extend that right arm out to a half T, and you're going to take your twist. Take the gaze to the right side. Our organs here are getting a nice squeeze as well, so improving your digestion. And moving all the insides, coming back to center. Squeeze that knee back in, full body stretch. Arms over the head, lengthen the legs, and then reach for that left knee to chest. On the next breath, flexing both feet and lengthen through that right leg. So just make sure that your head's not tilting up. Take that chin down, slight tuck, and then take that knee towards the left shoulder. On the next breath, guide that knee across the body. Take your twist, lengthening that left arm to a half T, and take the gaze to the left side. Come back to center, slowly unwinding. Squeeze that leg back in. Flex both feet and full body stretch. Arms by your side. Take the legs up to the sky. So you're very welcome to support the legs here, or use a block underneath your low back. And that would look just so. So you could just adjust. And then we're going to cycle the legs. Opposite direction, so forward and back. And then let's float the feet back down to the mat. Take the arms into a T position and windshield wiper the knees back and forth. Then come back to center, heel toe your feet to the width of the mat, and bring your knees in, cactus your arms. So you're bending at the elbow, and just letting the legs come into the center body. And then if it feels good to drop that left knee in a little deeper, you can. And then switch. All right, so bring those cactus arms in front of you, touching at the elbows and forearms. And then that right arm is going to go underneath the left, and you're going to give yourself a little hug. Release. Bring your arms back into cactus. Inhale, elbows together. And then that left arm is going to come underneath the right. And you're going to give yourself a hug. Opposite arm crosses underneath. And release. Extend the arms out. And then bring the soles of the feet together. We're just letting the front side body stretch out and release anything it's holding on to by opening up the front body, arms extended, legs butterflied. You're also very welcome to take the arms over the head, and if you want to take a bind here and reach elbow to elbow, you can. With the help of your hands, bring the knees up and hug them into your chest. Tight little ball, tucking the chin, squeezing in, and then bring the hands to the tops of the knees for knee circles. Any direction, getting both directions. And if you want to bring movement to the ankles and feet, you can by rotating both. And then floating the feet back down to the mat. We're going to take bridge pose. So bring these heels of the feet close to the buttocks. And then arms are by your side, hands palm down. On the inhale, we're going to lift the hips and the arms over our head at the same time. So you're going to lift, press the knees forward, chest works its way to the chin, and then on the exhale, everything's going to lower. Inhale, hips rise, arms rise over the head. And don't move your head side to side. Keep it nice and stable so you don't hurt your neck. One more as we reach up. If you haven't come down yet, come down and then reach back up. And on the exhale, lower everything back down. Take the feet wide and windshield wiper side to side. And then bring the feet back about hip distance apart, arms by your side or to a T, depends on what you feel like doing with your arms. And then we're going to gently rotate the hips forward and back. So without lifting the hips, we're giving the hips a little forward rotation and a back rotation. One more. And then come back to center, right ankle on top of left thigh. Weave the hands through the legs, interlace the fingers underneath that left thigh, and flex both feet. Tuck the chin. On the next breath, gently pull that left thigh towards you. If you'd like, you can do a little rock or just find that edge for yourself, that stretch. So this stretch is wonderful for your low back, to release sciatica, ease lower back pain, loosen up the buttock muscles and the deep muscles, the psoas, as you pull. So be compassionate here with what you're feeling. And release. And switch sides. Left ankle, top of right thigh. Weave your hands through the legs. Interlace the fingers underneath that right thigh. Flex the feet. And gently begin to pull. So one side might feel tighter than the other. Ease into that tightness with your breath. Take the shoulders down towards the mat. Tuck the chin. If you notice it's popping up. Last breath here. A little gentle pull, maybe a little bit more. And slowly release. Windshield wiper side side. And then when you're ready, taking a full body stretch, arms over the head, lengthening the legs and the arms in opposite directions. And then float your arms down by your side, taking a Shavasana position. Palms up, maybe tucking the shoulders underneath the body. Let the toes fall open. Or position yourself in any way that allows you to come to a deep relaxation. With your breath, as it deepens, feel your body melt into the mat, into the earth. Heels, back of the heels heavy, legs heavy, hips, shoulders, back of the head. Allow your eyes to soften or close and release the jaw of any tension. As you breathe in, feel the belly rise, chest rises. And as you exhale, belly falls, chest falls. So your option, if you're home, you can definitely decide to stay here as long as you like. I'm going to begin to shift the body by wiggling the toes and the fingers and bend the knees. Maybe bringing the knees into chest, rocking side to side, and then taking the knees to the right side. Cradling your head for a moment. And when you're ready, walking your hands to lift your body, coming back to your seated position. Join me with the hands at the heart center. And to seal our Wednesday session today, I want to thank you all for being here with me today. Let's kindly bring our prayer hands to our third eye as a reminder to think kind thoughts, to our lips to speak kind words, and back down to our hearts to remind us to live fully with love and remembering to be the peace among the chaos. Remembering that we have the courage, the strength, the compassion, and the grace to forge forward. From my heart to yours, may our thoughts, words, and actions always be heart-led and